Ponyfans.com here with senior cornerback Sterling Moore. And 2 weeks ago, you sat out a game with a bad knee. You're still running around with a brace. How does the knee feel, and has it bothered you at all since you've been back on the field?
It feels good. I mean, it's bothered me a little bit, but for the most part, I'm over it. Gets a little sore after games, but all the swelling is gone. It's not coming back after games or practices. So I guess the knee brace is just precautionary, but it'll probably be there all season, so something I got to deal with.
You had the interception for the second week in a row. This time you got in the end zone. How much grief did your teammates give you about getting caught at the one the week before?
A lot, especially because it happened last year against TCU too. So I guess just wasn't meant for me to get in the end zone versus TCU, but I learned from my lesson and got airborne this week, so finally got in there.
Okay, you go airborne. I'm guessing that landing doesn't hurt much when you're landing in the end zone, right?
Actually, it did hurt because the lineman hit me pretty hard, and I didn't see him coming. So, but when I saw the referee with his hands up, he kind of takes away some of the pain, so it was worth it.
Turning point of the game, was that interception the turning point of the game that helped you guys pull ahead?
I wouldn't say it was a turning point because it was so early, but I guess I helped us kickstart, give us some momentum, especially on defense, and then the offense started to pick up. So I wouldn't say it was momentum, but it kind of a kickstart.
Okay, coming in this weekend, you've got Tulsa coming in. They're averaging 39.8 points per game, over 500 yards. I know you're not going to say you're intimidated, but how scary is this offense? How potent is this offense?
It's very potent. I mean, it's not something we're scared of. We look at it as a challenge, but at the same time, you have to recognize that they do have a lot of athletes and do have a lot of weapons that you have to contain. But we feel like we're up for the challenge, and it's something we have to prove.
Last year, you had one of the best games of the year as an entire defense, holding them to under 20 points, forcing a few turnovers. Is that pressure from the front seven, forcing turnovers, is that the key to keeping this offense from going wild?
Definitely. I mean, our front seven is doing a great job getting pressure on the quarterback and forcing into some of these throws. So, as a secondary, we thank them for getting that pressure, and we hope it continues.
Last year, their starting quarterback, G.J. Kinney, went 2 for 10 with 10 yards. Threw a couple interceptions. You guys knocked him out of the game. Obviously, that's not a normal game for him. When you look at him on film, other than that game against you last year, what does he do so well that makes him so effective and put up these video game numbers?
Yeah, he's really accurate. He's accurate with the ball, not only on the shallow routes but down the field as well. But at the same time, he'll give you some opportunities to get the ball out of the air, and that's something we have to capitalize this week.
They have 3 receivers with over 2,000 receiving yards. They have the one H-back, Clay, but then they also have Trey Johnson and Damaris Johnson. What do these guys do well? Are they both small and shifty, or do they go vertical with one more than the other? What do these guys do that's so effective?
They're quick. They're hard to contain. They're both guys that are very shifty in the open field, and they get into space and they kind of create havoc out there. But yeah, they do definitely go deep with both of them. But at the same time, they also create some underneath routes to get them on some linebackers to get the ball in their hands, and so they can make something happen in the open field.
A lot of coaches and players talk about when you have an explosive offense like Tulsa has, you want to try to make them one-dimensional. They can run and throw. Can you try to force these guys into being one-dimensional? And if so, which way do you want to push them, toward the pass or toward the run?
Well, as a secondary, we want them to force them to pass, so we can get some opportunities back there. But no, I wouldn't say it's you want to make them do one thing more than the other. It's just trying to contain them as a whole because they are so balanced and, they can run and they can pass. So it's just something we're going to have to try to contain both through the air and on the ground.